Mockingjay Part 1 is the setup to Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. That's basically it. So I should probably get this out of the way. I did not read the books. Yeah, I know, I don't read the majority of books. I don't know how to read. I'm sorry. The first Hunger Games movie, I thought it was alright. It was just in the middle. There's a lot of shaky cam that caused the action to not be that great, but it was kind of interesting. The second one was way better. The shaky cam went away, and it was amazing. So I was really looking forward to Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 because it's from the same director as 2, because they switched out the directors, and it looked pretty awesome. The action in the trailer looked pretty cool. It looked like it was going to be very intriguing, and it looked like it was going to be an epic two-parter that hopefully deserved to be split into 2 parts, and it was kind of worthy of it. The acting, as usual, was good. Katniss Everdeen, played by Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence is always great as Katniss. I mean, she never pulls a dull moment, except for when she intentionally pulls a dull moment, but that was intentionally, and I'm not going to spoil it in case you haven't seen it. And Philip Seymour Hoffman brought a tear. Philip Seymour, he passed away, as you know, and they actually did something very nice for him. And when the credits started to roll, as soon as the title popped up again, before the director even showed up, they put "in loving memory of Philip Seymour Hoffman," and that was really great of them. Before they even showed the director, that was awesome. And of course, he's great in this movie. Julianne Moore was good in the movie, just she didn't really put into anything. Like, she was just that one-of-the-mill character that kind of had to be there, but there wasn't anything really interesting about her, except she's the leader of this resistance, the rebels, if you will. Finnick is back. He barely does much, but he's back, and the actor who plays him, I can't remember his name, sorry, but he was alright too. I mean, he didn't have much to do in this movie. He did do one monologue, though, that interplayed with another scene that was happening that I thought was actually really, really cool. Mitch, he's awesome. Even if he's not drunk in this movie, he's really, really awesome. And Effie, she's not overly dressed up in this movie, so we got to see Elizabeth Banks normal, except without hair or makeup, so that was kind of interesting. And she did a great job in the movie. President Snow, always creepy. Stanley Tucci, you can't hate Stanley Tucci even if he is a part of the Capitol. And PETA, who is taken prisoner by the Capitol, he is very minimal in this movie. He only appears in mainly propaganda and one part at the end, and he did fine. Like, he doesn't have much to do, just like Finnick, so it's kind of hard to say that he was great in the movie, but his acting was okay, and he does go through some changes, physically, maybe CGI'd, not really physical, but physical CGI-ness, if you will. And Liam Hemsworth, baby Thor, because Chris Hemsworth is the brother of Liam Hemsworth, who plays Gale in the movie. Chris Hemsworth plays Thor. I really did not need to explain that. Liam Hemsworth was great as well. Basically, everyone in this movie did a great job in their performances, and the action in this movie, oh boy, I should probably save that for later. The political conversation, there was one part where it started to drag on a bit. I was like, okay, let's hurry up, and I actually did this, like, can this go along, please? But for the most part, it was pretty good and well handled. However, there is some downtime because of that, and that is where we get into our flaws here. There is some downtime because of the fact that we have to go through the setup. This is like Deathly Hallows Part 1. There's a lot of setup until we get to the Part 2, which might be the best one in the franchise. And that's fine. Deathly Hallows did okay doing that. It had some great action sequences in it. But in Hunger Games, there's only one action scene and 2 very short action scenes, and one that looked like it was going to be an action scene but wasn't. And that one action scene that was the big one, some of the shaky cam came back. What? Why? Like, Francis Lawrence, who is in no relation to Jennifer Lawrence, you fixed this in Catching Fire. Why is this back in Mockingjay? Why do you like, I actually kind of laughed because whenever the characters would start running, it was filmed from behind, and as soon as that happened, it would go like this. Like, you could tell that the person filming was just running behind them like, hold on guys, wait. This is not a terrible movie. I still think this is better than the first Hunger Games, but I kind of prefer Catching Fire more. But this is a really good setup to Part 2. The action needed more because that's what the Hunger Games kind of is. We need more action into it. Since there's no action, this should probably not even be called Hunger Games. There's not even a Hunger Games in this. They should just erase that from the title and put Mockingjay Part 1. So I'm going to give Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 a B+. I thought it was a very good setup, and it had great performances, but it needed more action that was not shaky, and there was a lot of downtime, which needed to be fixed. I want to hear from you. What did you think of Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1? Leave it in the comments below. And I'd like to say that I know it's been a while since I put up History of, and I actually was planning to do a History of the Dark Knight trilogy directed by Christopher Nolan for Interstellar, but I got kind of lazy. Sorry. So I'm going to be doing that later on this week, since Thanksgiving break, which is only 4 days for me. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I have 4 days to get that done. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow even. I don't know, maybe. But I also like to know, what other History of videos do you want me to do? Leave it in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.